So today we're here to launch On My Way to Sierra Leone, which is a literary video. And the idea of a literary video is transforming literature from something that exists on the printed page to something that can physically exist on the screen.
My mother left when I was 1, but somehow she's still here.
And so what we do is we work with a collective of writers. In this case, they're students from 3 high schools across Sydney, and they develop creative works with our Sweatshop writers over a period of 10 weeks. And then from there, we edit the pieces into a video where children are reading to camera. And so the outcome is what we consider to be a collection of literary works that can be watched instead of read.
Which is one of the last letters. At that time, I really wanted to change my name to a name start with A or B, so I could be the first.
Sweatshop is the Western Sydney literacy movement, and we believe that the first way to engage in literature is to start with literacy. Because literacy, as the black cultural theorist Bell Hooks says, determines how you see what you see. So we have a very direct engagement with local communities, in which case we go directly into schools and we work with young people who are really starting off in their understanding and experience with literature, and in particular the English language. And from there we generate creative works through processes of critical thinking. Once the stories are developed, traditionally we would have loved to have published these kinds of things in books, but our culture is changing so rapidly that people's attention spans are changing, people's engagement in visual culture is changing, and most importantly, there are avenues which are accessible to some people and not accessible to others. So what we wanted to do was create something that can be accessed by all people and quite immediately, so that there is an opportunity to spread a collection of stories produced by young people almost straight after they've produced it. And then we're also challenging the conventions of English, so that we're asking people of low literacy, at least from an English perspective, or from non-English speaking backgrounds, to look at different kinds of cultural context in which they can engage in literature. It's actually something quite unique to the western suburbs of Sydney. We're seeing new voices that are uniquely Australian and that have not been represented before. And in this case, literally, come to life on the screen. So today we are bringing the students from all 3 schools, Sir Joseph Banks High School, Lanier High School and Sydney Secondary Campus Balmain, to watch the literary video that we've produced. And our idea in bringing the students to the university is to give them a direct engagement with the idea of creative writing on a university. Because I think for a lot of young people, they love creative writing and they love the idea of becoming great writers, but they don't really know that there are actual avenues to become a writer once you've finished high school. There's only ever a romantic idea of how you become a writer, but we want to give them a very real experience. And so one of the ways we do that is, of course, just inviting them to the space and showing them that it actually exists. And then secondly, introducing them to our writers, because these young people have worked with Sweatshop writers for the last 6 months, and now not only will we screen their work, but we'll start the ceremony by introducing them to the work of Luke Carman, Tamash Nohokian and Stephen Pham, in an attempt to show them that actually some of these writers that you worked with for 6 months are brilliant writers who make a career out of this stuff right here at the University of Western Sydney.